We're going to learn how to make adjustments to your pricing rules. This is not meant to be an in-depth discussion of the pricing rules. The pricing workshop video provides a more detailed discussion of the pricing engine, and our help desk addresses specific questions as well. Let's get started. In the management portal, scroll to the pricing section. Click on the Manage button. This will open up the business rules page. Notice there are 4 main sections here. If this is your first visit to your company business rules, you'll notice that we have loaded values in each section. The values we have loaded represent industry averages and are our best practice recommendations. Of course, your region of the country may be higher or even lower than these averages. It's just a starting point for you. The first section is the equipment and install kit tax. This is the tax that you pay your distributor for your equipment and materials. The next section is the pricing section. In this section, you can select your method of pricing, gross margin or markup, and the percent. The margin is applied to the cost of the equipment, tax, install kits, and labor. Your margins can be specific to the OEM, to the type of equipment, to a specific series, and even a model. We have preloaded the most commonly used cost categories with our best practice recommendations. Install kits. The cost includes the average amount of materials used for each equipment type. Labor category is the average amount of labor required to install each equipment type. And the last section, pricing adjustments. This is commonly used for commissions. These percentages are applied after the margin has been applied. Let's go ahead and make a change to a pricing rule. Let's scroll back up here to the gross margin. Okay, well, let's change this 43% margin to a 45% margin. I hit enter. Once I hit enter, you'll notice that I have a message up here on top. Changes have been made. Please save before switching to another action. Software is really helpful in providing hints so that you don't make mistakes. I need to save this change before I can move to another section. So I'm going to hit save. Now that action doesn't change the price book. To change the price book, I have to publish and activate the change. If you look up here in the right corner, you see a message. It says changes are waiting to be published. But before I publish, I'd like to see what the newly calculated price will be. So to do that, I'll use the Manage Margin tool. So I'm going to click on the Manage Margin button. I want to refresh the business rules. When I get to this page, you see a date, a time shows up here to tell me what rules I'm looking at. Is it yesterday's rules or today's rules? Well, these were rules at 1:18 today. I want to be sure to check the box, show individual models, and I want to preview the calculations that are used for the models. And then I'm going to select a model. So I'm going to click on this plus sign, and I'm going to select my deluxe air conditioner. I'll pick a platinum series. And I'll select let's grab a 3-ton unit here. A nice graphic opens up, and we call this graphic the pricing walk. The red represents the costs that were used in the final price calculation, and the green is the good stuff that represents my profit. If I hover over the arrows, I can see the dollar amounts that are included in each section, and it's also itemized here. If I scroll below, I can see the calculations that were used to calculate the final price. All the costs are itemized here. Now let's say this total price of $45.35 is a little high. That's not quite what I want to charge for this unit. I can make adjustments to any of the cost categories back in my Business Rules tab. So I'm just going to flip back to my Business Rules tab, and I'm going to make a couple of changes. I'm going to change the margin to 40%. Hit Enter. I'm reminded that I have to save, so I'll hit Save. Remember, this is not going to my database yet. And I'm going to change my install kit on that air conditioner to $300. Enter and save. Let's see what effect that has on my final price, those two changes that I made. I'm going to flip back to my Manage Margin tab. Okay, so here's what we had up before at the 45% margin. My price was $45.35. I'm going to refresh the Business Rules. Now my time changes. My price is now $40.69. That's with a 40% margin. And I've changed the install kit from $350 to $300. Now, if I'm happy with this price, and this is exactly how I want to price my air conditioners or all my equipment, I'm good to go, then I'm ready to publish those changes. So I'll go back to the Business Rules tab. And up here in the top right-hand corner, it says changes are waiting to be published. So I'm going to preview the pricing. And now I have a button here that says Publish and Activate. I'll go ahead and tap on Publish and Activate. The software asks me again, are you sure you want to publish? Because at this point you are changing your pricing. I'm going to say yes, I do want to change. Okay, change it. In the event that you thought you were sure about changing your pricing and the changes you'd made to your rules, and then as soon as you pushed OK, you're like, no, I want to go back to where I was before. You'll have the option to roll back, and that will roll back to the last point in time that you had published before you made this last change, this last publish. This new price book will arrive on your tablet when the app refreshes. Remember, a refresh occurs the next time you log into the app, maybe tomorrow morning, or if you want to see the pricing change immediately, use your navigation menu to use the refresh function on your tablet to download that new price book onto your tablet. I hope this video gets you started on customizing your price rules. Our help desk has additional articles and videos to address more specific questions.